What's the worst sexual experience you had? Getting it on with my then boyfriend in the back of his car. He goes down on me, things are going great until about a minute later when I see that his face is covered in blood. Like horror movie amount of blood. I panic and start profusely apologizing. He's obviously freaked out by it but is polite enough to not freak out in front of me. He drives me back to my dorm as I'm sobbing in his back seat from being so embarrassed. We get into the bathroom to clean up. After I took my clothes off I saw that I looked like every final girl from every 90s horror movie. I was horrified all over again. I get into the shower and quickly realize that I'm not on my period. I peek my head out of the shower and see my ex with a tissue in his nose. Turns out he got the world's bloodiest nose while going down on me. Edit, guys, it's not Waldy Eddie. I showed my ex this post after it blew up and he hasn't posted anything about this story. Thank you all for the love and awards BTW, it's somehow comforting to know that a lot of other people have had this exact experience lol. I love how some other guy posted that he had a nosebleed and thought the same thing lol. Wait. Could that be? No. I once had sex with a guy and the Blues Brothers was playing and he just kept saying lines from the movie out loud the entire time, regardless of what he was doing. Update, I'm always happy to share my trauma for the enjoyment of others. He was indeed on a mission from God. This thread is for bad sexual experiences. Dude came as he put the condom on. To be fair, I wouldn't usually consider this a big deal. I'm understanding that things like this happen or whatever. The ducked up part came the next week when I was told that he was spreading rumors that I was nasty, had STIs, etc. Like dude, don't try to cover up your shitty performance by talking shit about me. Damn immature and premature. And insecure. That's for sure. Girl who just laid there. No emotion at all. No moaning, no heavy breathing. Nothing. At one point she wanted to be on top. I thought, oh, maybe she's more into that? Nope. She just kind of sat there. Staring at me. No hip movement at all. Just sat there with my dick inside her and her hands on my chest. Weirdest experience ever. No moaning, no breathing. Nothing. I'm glad this didn't go where I thought it would be going, at least. All cold, blue, and inflexible. Totally not worth the dig. When I tried to go down on her she told me no and said she doesn't receive or give oral and that she just wanted me to penetrate her and not move. Anytime I moved she asked me if I came and when I started motioning she told me to stop because even though I had a condom on and she was on birth control if I came inside her she knew she was going to get pregnant. Edit, so she was actually not Mormon but instead Catholic. We were both in our early 20s and this was on like a second date in my dorm room. I did have to finish later because I thought maybe she'd let me jerk off onto her but she said no because it still might run down to her vagina. Thank you for the awards and all the upvotes. I really didn't think this was going to get much attention. That sounds like a lot of fun. I was going down on a guy and he said something so I picked up my head to ask what right as he came and got a straight semen shot up my nose. He probably said I'm about to come. Going down on a girl and she farted on my chin when she orgasmed. Made her my wife. Edit, thank you all so much for the love, I'm glad you could live vicariously through my experience. Everyone have a great weekend and spread those good vibes. That's how you know you were in love. Tongue ring in my urethra was an eye-opener. Girl tried to eat my face. I don't think she had ever kissed anyone before and basically opened her mouth as wide as she could, shoved it over the top of mine and slide her teeth across my cheeks and lips. That's just ducking funny is what that is. Guy used a Magnum condom that was too big for his micro penis and kept calling it a spicy little pepper. Edit, aw guys I didn't think this would blow up like it did. Thank you for all the rewards. I'm glad my cringy story brought you all joy lol. That's so funny. He used 5 condoms. Boasted about how good he was and kept calling me his little bitch. Well yeah, 1 for each finger. Isn't that how you're supposed to do it? While we're on the subject, I once had a transvaginal ultrasound, the kind with the aerodynamic dildo-shaped wand transducer. Ordinarily, they would put a fresh condom on the transducer for each patient, but, because this was a Catholic hospital, and they would not use condoms, they used a latex glove on the wand and I was then being slapped in the taint by 4 flaccid latex fingers. Putting a condom on something magically turns it into a penis? Went home with a girl from a bar one night. Walk in her house and see what I think is her roommate watching TV with the lights off in the living room. They exchange hellos and the roommate gets up and goes to her room. The girl and I go to her room and start getting busy. At one point, the headboard on her bed starts banging the wall, so I say, let's put a pillow back there, I don't want to disturb your roommate. She replies, roommate? That's my daughter. Yep, in that moment, I was that guy. Edit, wow, didn't think this would blow up. Thanks everyone. For all those wondering, yes, we did put a pillow behind the headboard, lol. It was quite awkward and definitely killed the mood. Also, the comments I have been reading are pretty hilarious. Plot twist, damn. So did you put the pillow behind the headboard? Had a fling. We went to a farmer's market one weekend and he bought me a tea and maybe a croissant. When we got back to his place, we had sex and midway through he said something like, yeah, take it because I bought you breakfast. If a woman can go soft, I went soft. Edit to add, I had been seeing this guy before he bought me breakfast. I didn't jump into bed with a tea buying stranger lamau. Lol, hands you a croissant, that'll be one sex, please. Good old barter system. I was with a new girl during college, and one thing led to another and I was going down on her. She wanted to fool around but was hesitant about me going down on her, hesitant, not resistant or anything like that, but she said okay after a minute. So I'm down there and after like 10 seconds I taste metal, like pennies. It doesn't connect in my mind what it would be. So I get up and turn on the lights. Blood everywhere. Like a murder crime scene. I am in wide-eyed shock and she started screaming, my face was covered in blood. Turns out I got a nosebleed, probably about the worst time anyone can ever get a nosebleed. She was understandably shocked as well, considering she was not expecting her or myself to be covered in blood. I think the other person in this scenario posted her side of the story in this thread. It's not the same incident, but damn it if I wish it was. Same. Took me 25 minutes of reading through this thread to find nosebleed dude. She shat seashells on my shirt and shaft. This guy was fingering me and he pushed his finger up so far that it made me bleed the next day. Can't stop picturing ET hands. Was fooling around in the shower with a chick I had met at the bar several hours before. She was going down on me and I was leaning back up against the shower wall looking up and not paying any attention. All of a sudden the sharpest feeling I've ever felt literally climbs up my asshole. She had shoved an entire finger up my ass, including a long-ass acrylic nail. Needless to say, my booty hole puckered up and almost ripped her finger off. She said she had read about doing it in magazines and that guys should love it. I did not love it. Turns out she cut the inside of my booty chute and I had trouble walking and driving for days, still have a sensitive balloon knot to this day. Ladies, I'm all for butt play, but a warning is always appreciated from either party. Cheers all and avoid acrylic nails in your butt. Edit. Thanks everyone for the kind words and awesome awards. Y'all take care of each other out there and be good to yourself and others. Peace. She said she had read about doing it in magazines and that guys should love it. Duck you Cosmo. In college I hooked up with a girl a few times and had sex twice. In high school, my GF was on the pill, so it had been a long time since I used a condom. Kind of forgot what it felt like. So back to this girl in college. I'm 99% sure I never actually got inside her. I think I was just rubbing between the bottom of her butt and in the bed. Twice. She never said anything about it, so I'm not really sure. But then I dated a girl shortly after that and she looked at me midway through our first time and kindly said, "You know you're not inside me, right? So much shame." Somewhere in this thread is a girl posting her experience in college with a boy having sex with he by rubbing his DCK between the bottom of her butt and in the bed. Twice.